Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel all about knowledge. My first YouTube video topic will be a DISC personality profile. In first half I am going to talk about what it means by a DISC personality profile. What are the profit of doing DISC personality profile assessment, where it can be useful. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. If you want to do a DISC profile assessment, you can contact on an email ID or a WhatsApp number provided in description. Calls are not entertained unless the previous chat on a WhatsApp or email has been done. Thank you. In second half, I am going to talk about most famous person from India. Can you guess it? Yes, you guessed it right. PM Modi. I am going to make the assessment of PM Modi's public behavior traits. It's called as a third party assessment. There is a difference between a natural behavior and under pressure or a limiting behavior. Because everyone will have an opinion about him, it's quite possible my assessment of him you might not agree. And that's quite fair and perfect. What we are trying to achieve here is how to use a disassessment tool to get information of people's behavioral traits and how we can adjust to them to get a maximum output in our life. I hope you all will enjoy the topic and the video. This profile assessment can be used for various purposes. See this husband and wife. They always have arguments and fights. But if you do a DISC profile assessment from us, then go through the consultation process, you will start to understand each other better and will have the happy life like this couple. Company HR can use it for interviews. We know when HR try to find out a suitable candidate, they miss many information because of too many applications to look into. But with our DISC assessment tool, they can profile a person for a suitable post. Like you want a manager who should get the things done, then you should employ a dominant person, so that he will focus on completing the task. If you employ a C person, like compliant person, the delay will be a fix because he will look into all the small things done accurately before he announces his goal is achieved. When you have a presentation about the future project with some angel investor or industrialist, then if you have done a disassessment of them, you will know which point they like to see before they agree to your terms or project. Salespeople can use this technique to maximize their sales. There are other lot of things can be done using this tool. For the next 5 minutes, I will be describing what is a DISC assessment. Then for the next 5 minutes, I will be discussing how assessment done to profile PM Modi. Let's see DISC personality profile types. We'll draw one vertical line, then we will draw one horizontal line that will cross vertical line at center. So this will look like a graph. On top side of the vertical line, we will write down as outgoing or outspoken. On downside of the vertical line, we will write down as a reserved or introvert. On the right side of the horizontal line, we will write as a people oriented. On the left side of the horizontal line, we will write as a task oriented. We know there are different type of people. Some people are outgoing, outspoken. Others are introvert or reserved. Some people are task oriented. Some are people oriented. As we can see, this graph gave us 4 parts. So let's name them in the following order. A person falls between the task oriented and outgoing will be called as a D, dominant. A person falls between the outgoing and a people oriented will be called as I, influential. A person between a people oriented and a reserved will be called as S, steady. A person between reserved and task oriented will be called as a C, or compliant. From this, we can't say that a person will have only one behavioral tendency, but person will have only one type of natural behavior in high, like high percentage of a D, high percentage of I, and so on. When I say natural behavior, it means without a pressure. Under pressure, people will definitely act differently. We'll call them as a flip side. Sometimes in the job, people act differently because of the stress and the pressure of continuing the job. But still, it's clear from the research that they will show one more sign of one type of behavior. Let's get some deep into it. Now, person in between task oriented and outgoing called as a D or a dominating personality. Now, whenever they talk, it's all about completing a task or a goal. They don't care much about accuracy. They get motivated by simple winning competitions and value competency, result, and personal freedom. What will be their main quote is, what's the point of playing if winning is not the goal? That's the Jerry Rough for you. Now you can assume how a person with a D high will behave naturally. This will help us to understand them better and adjust to them accordingly. That's finished the first part of the video called as the introduction of the DISC personality profile assessment. The next part is about PM Modi's personality profile assessment. To make assessment, I answered 25 questions about PM Modi. 4 means a high tendency and 1 means a low tendency. I have to fill all the options in 1, 2, 3, 4 in any manner. That will help the profile assessment. But I am going to show you only 5 questions and what I answer for it in a detail. Why I gave him this scoring. But before that, let's see what point of his life I am going to consider to make this assessment. I am going to focusing on the following points for the assessment. 1. Childhood. 2nd. Bharat Parikrama. 3rd. The scene in Jammu Kashmir for a flag hosting in Srinagar Lal Chowk with a Murli Manohar Joshi. 4th will be a 2002 riots, a CBI case which gone on for a 12 years under UPA rule, but he came out clean. 5th will be a Modi Vajpayee press conference issue where Modi talked in between the Vajpayee's address to tell that he is doing the same, that Raj Dharma. A 6th, a 3 term as a CM and 2014 PM candidate issue, which is well known. The 7th, the last, the decisions he made after becoming the PM in 2014. Demonetization, GST, surgical strike, Pulwama attack, triple talaq, abrogation of 370 or 35A, Rafale. So the PM Modi's main traits that will be a positive or a high called can be a patriotism and workaholic. And third will be the image conscious. The negative traits may be a press conference because he has a history of a bad press conferences previous. So right now after he became a PM, he avoided as many as press conferences as possible. Against a riot or agitation, his score is very low. You can go on and make the assessment. Let's see the answer given to first 5 questions. The first question is how he tends to act in a way. Now it's a well known fact that PM Modi is very assertive, so I gave him a 4, the highest point possible. After that, he is very patient about making decisions or working, so I gave him a next number that is a 3. After that he is very less contemplative or a persuasive, so I gave him a 2 or a 1 there. The second question, when in conflict, what is style? As we know that PM Modi after Uri and Pulwama attack demanded action immediately, didn't waste any time thinking too much. That's why demand action has a 4 points. He attacks that way, so the 3 points for the next option. And he complained or prevents very less, so 1 and 2 for that. What he needs, he always need to have a controls. Also he believe much more in a routine and a pattern. So the highest point is for a control 4, then a routine, then pattern, and then approval. As everyone knows he don't wait for the approval of people or someone else. What his primary approach is? PM Modi's approach, as everyone has seen, is very stable and very independent. He less believe in interacting with someone else to run the government. So it's clear that he's a stable. So stable, he got 4 marks there. He's very independent in running the government. Gave him a 3 marks. And then he's a less interactive, that is 2 marks. Liquid paper means that he can gel with anyone or adjust to anything. So he's not that type of person. So obviously the only 1 mark there. Last is the PM Modi and Vajpayee's press conference after Godhra riots, where in the conflict he got angry and confronted even a PM Vajpayee when he is briefing to press. He talked in between. Now let's see the final assessment results of PM Modi's profile. As you can see, I had answered 25 questions, and the highest mark can be possible in one question, one type with a 4. So highest can be achieved by scoring in 25 questions is 100. We can see PM Modi scored 85 in dominance. It means he is a D high person. A less score in I means influential. This might confuse you because he is the most popular and considered as influential, but it's not quite true. It's his image. He's a D high and a steady personality makes him the most popular and sometimes influential. As we can see, he scored 85 out of possibility of 100 in a dominance. It's clear why some people think him as a dictator, and that's not the wrong in some cases. But I will not think in that way. I will say he is not a dictator yet, or he is not a dictator type of person. He is just a D high person. But he is very steady and he is not that influential. The dictators like Hitler or someone else is a problematic person when he is a dominance, and as same he has a very influential. The Hitler was a dictator easily in Germany because of a high D and high I score, as I have gone through his profile. So now this concludes the assessment of a PM Modi's profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. If you have any questions or answers or want to comment something, you can comment. I will try to answer as many as questions as possible. Thank you for watching.